Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Garage Golf Simulator / practice facility. I am Turbo Talon Golf, aka Shelby Iverson. Happy Sunday, what's left of it anyway. It's the 26th of April, 2025, 2026, whatever year it is. And we're gonna play some sim golf here. The star of the show today is going to be this 3D printed golf ball dispenser that my sister printed for me. It's pretty dope. Works really nicely, and we're going to use it today. Trying to find some golf balls to load into the sucker so we can fill it all the way up to the top. Golf balls that don't have too much battle damage, because we don't want to be hitting those into the impact screen. You know. Hope everybody's having a good morning. And I'm also trying something new today. We used to do, it's been a couple of weeks, but we used to do just random TikToks that I found and screen captured. But that was honestly getting kind of old. A lot of the same shit day in and day out. So I'm trying something new today. I'm calling it Google That Shit. And what we're going to do is look at some TikToks. But we're actually going to see if they have any factual backing to them by using Google AI. So obviously we want, when you guys use Google AI, you'll see what sources it's pulling from. We want to have a good amount of sources, and if the sources aren't, if we don't have a lot of sources, or like the only source is Reddit or something like that, we can obviously take whatever it's saying with a grain of salt, or maybe not put so much weight into it. But you'll see the 3D printed golf ball dispenser my sister made me down in the bottom left corner. And it looks like D-Lud's Best Courses League is renewed. It does renew on Sundays. And that's at the Hills Golf Club. 6,400 yard tees, Friday pins, 5-foot gimmies, normal greens, normal fairways, wind's breezy, I don't love that. And the tournament's at about 2,000 feet above sea level. Let's turn off the putting assist and go play. Crushing It Golf is in the chat. Hello, how are you? I don't have the golf ball dispenser set up to put anything on a tee. My sister did print me some adjustable feet for it, but we're not going to use it today. We're just going to be using it for anything that would normally be off the turf. Other than that, I'll take a golf ball off the top. Looks like you guys got a little bit of bird chirping audio, but not a whole bunch. Holy crap, what's going on this course? It's a pretty beautiful course. Looks like something around here. I'm from Utah. I can't tell if the audio's coming out of the... So I guess my computer's chosen to put audio out through the BenQ projector above me again. Guys, I don't know. It's different every day here in the simulator. Foof says, whoa, you're live early today. Yeah, I probably should have prefaced. My outdoor round of golf this morning that I usually play on Sundays got canceled because it's raining outside. And by canceled, I mean I canceled the tee time. I could probably still go over there if I wanted to. Let's hide the little explicit language symbol. I think if you're watching the channel by now, you know that I sometimes often use explicit language. But what we've got here on the first hole is a 480 yard par 5. It looks like we've got some inner OB on the right. And other than that, you're free to spray in any direction you choose. Just like a single young man at the bar. You're able to spray in any direction you choose. We're no longer hitting irons only. The driver's back in the bag. It was fun while it lasted, but for those of you who have been watching the channel for a while, you know I like to experiment with a lot of different types of golf clubs, golf balls, and course management techniques. One of which was to stop hitting driver. But this fairway is pretty narrow. I really wish there was some function that would allow you to measure the width of the fairway. But you guys can see it's basically a fucking landing strip. Probably not the greatest idea to go ham on it. I don't think driver's our best bet for this shot. Let's hit like a 5 wood. And we'll use the dispenser on the following shots, but we can't use it because I don't have it set up to drop the ball onto a tee. I warmed up a little bit, but this ball may go quite literally anywhere. Looks like it's drawn and we'll be in the fairway. So we basically need to hit another quite long shot. We didn't do too bad there. Here we go with the first use of the golf ball dispenser on film here. Oh yeah, baby. That thing's cool as hell. I tell you what. All right, what target do we want to hit? The green? Probably not. Let's go over here and down and down. We basically want to hit 177. Foof says McGolfin TV are live right now too. Usually when they finish about an hour or two later is when you go live. Yeah, I would probably watch McGolfin TV instead of this channel. Those guys are pretty entertaining. If you got to go, Foof, don't feel bad. You can just, if you even want to, you can watch this later. I like McGolfin TV. My shit is boring compared to what they do. 182. Is going to be like a 5-iron. Foof says he's got a center shafted Odyssey 2-ball white hot putter on the way. So I was watching something about that putter the other day and how revolutionary it was for its time. Did you get a new one or are you talking about the old one? Because I can't remember if the old one was center shafted or not. Okay, there's some likelihood we're going to see some of those over-the-top slappers. But maybe, maybe not. And there's something else I want to dive into as well here on the channel. And that's if we hit somewhere where the ball could probably would be lost, we're going to take a penalty stroke for it to make the shit more realistic. Because this is barely realistic as it is. We got a bunch of headwind here. Let's use the golf ball dispenser because it's so fucking cool. Boom! How easily entertained am I? Okay, we're drawing over. We might be near the green. Doesn't matter. Oh, Jesus, it's gone. So for those of you who aren't tracking what the Odyssey White Hot 2-ball putter is, let's go ahead and look that up, because that's more fun than sim golf. Okay, there's the shit we were looking at yesterday with Trey. I can't spell it. Odyssey White Hot 2-ball putter, center shaft. This guy, right? Did you get it for a song? Dude, stop with the ads. So that's why they call it the 2-ball, is because you line up those white dots on the putter that are almost as large as an actual golf ball, and it helps you with your alignment. But that's a good looking putter. I hope you have fun with it, my friend. Whoa! Whoa! So we're not even done with the first hole yet. We rolled down some embankment. Let's dispense a golf ball. Here comes a ProTee. We got a bunch of wind, etc., etc. Oh, we're dispensing golf balls. There we go. There's another one. Are you allowed to divulge how much you paid for the putter? Because it looks like they're about, I don't know, $100. All right, we're back to the ProTee VX launch monitor, so putting's not going to feel like quite as much of a chore as it does on the Square Golf launch monitor. I don't know, 41, 42 feet. And that's tracking toward the hole. Well, it was for a second anyway. Bogey. We'll take a bogey. That was a pretty shitty hole. The singing golfer is 2 under final. So the fat part of the fairway here is littered with bunkers on the second hole. We can choose to try to go around them, which is what I'm going to do here. We do got a big tailwind, so let's hit driver. Let's hit the old driver. Healy fade. We might be up. Well, guys, that's a pretty lucky shot. I think that's fairway, so it's going to come back down. But we got about a pitching wedge into the green. Oh, Foof, you're good. Foof says he got behind a couple of minutes. You're good, sir. You're not missing anything. We're going to see how this Google that shit thing that I want to do works out here in a second. We're going to Google that shit. We're going to see if there's any facts involved with some of these TikToks that I've screen captured. But I didn't really pre-game it, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, wow, that's a good shot. It would have been gooder if it stayed in the damn circle. What do we got here? A birdie putt, and it doesn't look like it's even moving that much, so maybe we can sink this. It's barely moving, like I don't even want to take it out of the cup. Ah, son of a bitch. All right, guys, that would have helped us out a lot, but apparently I had 1.2 degrees of horizontal launch angle. Okay, we got a strong headwind in our face this time. It looks like there's 2 of us playing this right now. Somebody named T-Stop and somebody named Turbo Talon. I don't know who the hell that dude is. He's probably a fucking chode. That ball spent a lot of time in the air, but that just means the wind had a lot more time to blow it backwards. So 268, 150 miles an hour of ball speed, not too bad. Pitching wedge is going to be our club here, but we do need to adjust for the wind. Let's dispense us a golf ball here. This thing is actually cooler than I thought it would be. My sister made it for me on her 3D printing mechanism. I don't know how much I like this wind. Foof says the only center shafted model of the Odyssey White Hot 2-ball putter was released in 2006. We'll have to Google that shit. Just kidding, it looks like you already Googled that shit. Okay, that's gonna help the ball blow over to the left. You see that thing? We got a good members bounce, but we still got some work to do. So where are we at? We're in the fairway. Guys, I'm gonna opt to putt this because I'm not a smart man. Let's putt, and then we'll check out some Google that shit. Where I'm gonna look at a TikTok and decide if any of it is worth Googling based on stuff that the TikToker says. This thing's got to go, I don't know, 15 feet. Pretty heavy penalty out of the fairway for some reason. I think anyone who's ever putted off the fairway onto the green knows that it's not that heavy of a penalty. And then later today, if I can get the logistics figured out, I'm going to play some Neo Turf Masters in a live stream. All right, guys, let's try this new thing I want to do. It's not much more exciting than the other thing we were doing, but it'll be a little bit more, I guess, factually based. So let's have a look at a stupid TikTok I've got here. All right, so this one actually has some stuff we can use Google AI to kind of fact check. What screen are we on here? Okay, I hid this lady's information because nobody gives a shit anyway. She says most successful men have a wife. I think Google AI may have something to say about that. That's kind of fact checkable. Most successful women are single. So she's saying that successful men rely on their wife to be successful, and that successful women rely on nobody, God damn it. Well, let's Google that shit and see what Google AI has to say about it. How does that sound? Guys, let's Google that shit. So what can using my scientific mind, what can I pull out of my ass here? Most successful men have a wife. Let's start, since this is the first one, let's just start out nice and easy. Are most successful men married? Are most successful men married? Let's just start real simple here. And we've got a Google AI overview. So this says, yes, a high percentage of successful men are married, with reports suggesting around 86% of millionaires are married. Research indicates that marriage often provides a stable home base and emotional support which can aid in professional focus. Furthermore, data shows married men often earn significantly more, up to 26% more than their unmarried peers. Stability and focus, financial motivation. Okay, so let's look at the second part. This is factually correct according to Google. And I can't see, so it looks like it's pulling from Facebook, and a few other sources, right? I realize that's not very scientific, but this is a lot more interesting than the other shit I've been doing. Let's see, most successful women are single. So let's ask Google if most successful women are single. Go. What does Google say about this? It says, and we have a few sources here. While not all successful women are single, many high-achieving women are, often by choice or due to high standards. They frequently so is this answering our question? They frequently prioritize career goals, financial independence, and personal peace over partnerships that do not offer equal support, refusing to settle for relationships that feel like added pressure. So this isn't technically answering our question. This just says, while not all successful women are single, many high-achieving women are. So guys, many is an ambiguous term. The last search said 86% of successful or billionaires were married. So we'll say that this 50% of what this TikToker is saying is factually correct according to Google, which I realize is not like hard science, but still certainly a lot better than the other shit we've been doing where we just look at snapshots of TikToks and I decide how much shit I want to talk. So let's delete this one. What's the next one? Okay, so the next one's more about patriarchy and matriarchy. We will fact check that shit with Google. Love it, like it, or hate it. I'm a very scientific minded person and I want to see data, statistics. I want to see something more than somebody woke up hungover and put some shitty thing on TikTok, right? Foof says the serial code on that white hot 2-ball putter is visible in the listing photo. I bought it, the listing photo he bought, so he'll see if he can find it on Callaway's site. Foof, do you know if Callaway keeps track of serial numbers the way like Ping does, or is it maybe not as elaborate? Ooh, you guys, this is a nasty little bastard here. Hole number 4 is a 190-yard par 3 that's playing about 182, but we do have a headwind. So we'll say that it's playing at its face value, and we've got water and a bunker that are protecting that pin. The pin's in not a very good place, so we're just going to aim for the fat part of the green. We're just going to go straight over here and hope we don't push it. Where we said we're playing it at face value, so I'm going to need a 4-iron. Ping, Foof says you'll have to call to check with Callaway. But yeah, Ping is really good about keeping track of everything basically they've ever made. Oh, guys, I haven't hit a 4-iron fat in a long time. That stinks. That stinks. What do we got? 73 yards to the pin. Let's hit a sand wedge. And I think we would be able to find our golf ball here. If I think that we would not be able to find our golf ball, we're going to take a penalty stroke and a drop. And that is to kind of, I guess, curb the feeling that we're playing much better golf than we are. Because out on the real golf course, you're going to take a penalty stroke for lost balls. And there's a lot of other stuff I could do to make this more realistic, like turn off the HUD and all of that. but we're going to have to let this evolve. We're not going to do it all at once because mostly because I'm not prepared to do it. 32 feet minus 14 is going to leave us at, I don't know, 32, 22, like an 18-foot putt or something. And that was tracking toward the hole, but no cigar. So what do we bogey? Number 5 is a 267-yard par 4. Probably only need to hit. You can either try to drive the green, which is up. It's up on a hill and it's protected by bunkers. So it's protected by wind, bunkers, and elevation, which is not really very appealing to me, honestly. So let's hit something that'll go about 210 yards. Did I say 210? I did say 210. Let's just hit a 5-wood up there. Sometimes the 5-wood goes where it's supposed to and sometimes it doesn't, but that's kind of what golf's all about, is managing the chaos. Not relying on good shots all the time, but more like managing chaos, you know? Guys, that was too good of a shot. We almost got up on the grass, but we're in the bunker. We would have been better off just trying to go for the green with driver. It was too good of a 5-wood. Looks like we did have a little bit of wind. I must not have really paid attention to that. This is playing 40 yards out of what I can assume is a greenside bunker, but I don't know. You won't know until you're doing it. So we would rather be long than short because there's another bunker in front of the green. We're going up and it looks like we're going to want to go a little bit right. Let's just get out of here. And we did not take a speed penalty out of there. It says we did, but my numbers suggest we did take a speed penalty. It wasn't 50% though. We're back down to 1 over. Let's see here, 373 yards on the 6th hole. It's obviously a par 4. If we were playing a 373-yard par 3 or par 5, we would certainly be in a world of hurt. Let's see if I can hit another decent 5-wood shot, and hopefully we don't lose a golf ball. So even if we're in these tufts of grass down here on the right, well, no, those are in the water. We'll see where it goes. Obviously, if it's in the water, it's lost. And you guys, feel free to play sim golf however you choose. Just don't be bragging about your sim scores when you're getting no penalties for lost balls and shit like that, right? I think the simulator's already too forgiving. If your score is 10 to 15 strokes on average better than it would be outside, it's really irrefutable that the sim is giving you an advantage. And it goes beyond a perfect lie every time. It's more than that. Okay. Good shot there. It's pretty much where we wanted it, but I'd have liked to have been a little further, but it was still a decent shot for a 5-wood. 162 yards. Let's, since I'm not hitting very well, let's just get the ball over there. We need to aim a little bit to the left because the wind's blowing 8 miles an hour across our face. So we need to basically hit a 170-yard shot. And if I misstrike this 6-iron, we're going to be probably in the water. Golf ball dispenser has given us a golf ball. Thank you, golf ball dispenser. Decent strike, but it's headed left. We might be okay unless it funnels into that bunker, but other than that, I'd say that's a pretty good shot. Let's use the 64-degree wedge because it works in the sim because of the lie is always good, but it's a lot harder to use outside than it is in here, so I rarely use it outside. I should have aimed a little more to the left, just a smidge more to the left. We might be able to make this putt. It's playing about 7 feet. All right, we got that in the hole. Probably shouldn't have, but we did. And then, if I'm not mistaken, this is back-to-back par 3s. And I think it's time for another installment of Google that shit. So let's see what we've got. Here's the next TikTok. This is not a new topic here on the channel. I don't know what's wrong with my TikTok feed. So patriarchy is about the men. That's a fact we can check using Google AI. And the next statement is matriarchy is about the children, which is also something we can fact check using Google. So let's go ahead and fact check those two statements and see what Google tells us. And guys, this is not scientific, obviously. Is patriarchy about men? That said, is patriarchy about horses? Google says patriarchy is a structural system not just about individual men that places men as the primary authority figures, centers society on male perspectives, and defines masculinity through control and strength. While it privileges men, it also harms them by enforcing rigid, emotionally restrictive roles and harms women by devaluing them. And it looks like we've got a few sources here. YouTube, Psychology Today, Medium, whatever the piss that is, and then the Egalitarian. So we have a few sources. So it's not about individual men, it's a structural system. So let's open a new window here. Let's do split window. How about that? So guys, we're not using very scientific searches here. I should have said what is patriarchy about and what is matriarchy about. Instead, I'm going to say, is matriarchy about the children? So it says, yes, matriarchies are deeply centered on children, but not solely about children. Authentic matriarchy is a social structure focused on maternal values, nurturing, caretaking, and community well-being. It prioritizes mothers and children as the most vulnerable members, ensuring safety, nourishment, and growth for everyone. Matriarchies are not just about women rule, which is a common misconception. They are systems built around the needs of mothers and children, ensuring their protection and health. I hate that this shit is not a one-to-one comparison. Future-oriented matriarchy focuses on the next generation, placing children and their well-being at the top of societal priorities. So a patriarchy is a structural system that places men as the primary authority figures, centers society on male perspectives, and defines masculinity, Well, when we search about a matriarchy, it says nothing about how it's, well, it says it is a social structure focused on maternal values. So why does an AI say that a patriarchy is a social structure focused on, I guess it is focused on male values? Without going too deep into this one, I'd say what this woman is saying is factually true, but I don't think she's trying to get the point across. She's not getting the point across that she thinks she is. She's factually correct. Factually correct. Patriarchy is mostly about men, and matriarchy, according to Google, is mostly about the children. But I think she's trying to say it in a derogatory way. She's saying that a matriarchy is better than a patriarchy. And again, I may be reading too much into that, but again, we Googled that shit and found out that what this lady's saying is factually true. So there you go. Hopefully we get some better ones in the future, because this is the same shit that comes through my feed, just with a different flavor. Same shit, different shitty flavor. We need to carry quite a way here. This is a tricky par 3 because you've got bunkers and a little bit of elevation protecting the green, and you've got also some wind that's trying to keep your happy ass off the green. So we need to hit the ball pretty far. I would say this is a job for a 7 wood, which is sitting somewhere over here, I think. There's the 3 wood. Is this the 7 wood? That is the ping 7 wood, lofted at 21 degrees. What do you guys think of this golf ball dispenser? Is the feed still there in the window? Is it live? It is live. All right, we're just gonna hit a 7 wood and basically spray and pray, and hopefully we don't lose a golf ball. Okay, we're gonna be over to the right, but that was a pretty solid shot. And we need to decide, okay, it didn't go into the deep rough, so we would be able to find our ball. I'm gonna go ahead and make that call for us. If the ball goes into the edge of the deep rough, we'll probably most times, 9 out of 10 times, gonna say that it would be findable. It would be discoverable. But if it goes like balls out into the deep rough, I don't really think that it would be safe to say we were gonna be able to find it. And then, of course, I would use 0 gimmies. And there's nothing I can do about the fact that we have a perfect lie every time. That's something I don't have control over. We always love those shots here on the channel. The little stinkers that stick over there on the fringe. And I think that's a bogey. That took too many strokes to get into the hole. All right, what do we got here on number 8? 418 yard par 4. Looks like it dog legs right. And our first shot is gonna wanna be, do we hit something stupid? So it's gotta go 250 something into the wind. I just don't wanna lose a golf ball. 230. Hey PVC, happy Sunday all. Cheers, cheers to you, my friend. Let's hit a 3 wood and see what happens. That's the 7 wood. That ain't gonna help us very much. This has got to be the 3 wood. And hopefully we don't lose a ball. Decent shot. I'm going to go ahead and say there's enough landmarks and shit here and the grass is short enough that we would be able to find our ball in that lie. Let's dispense a golf ball here. Bada bing, bada boom. And we still got to go 175 on a par 4, which is highly unfortunate because we're also hitting out of some fluffy stuff, right? Let's hit the 5-iron. Wind's going to want to blow us over to the right. The lie is also going to want to blow us over to the right. If you recall, the last time I hit one of these longer irons, I duffed the shot, so let's hope that doesn't happen this time. Looks like it should be okay. You really want to be on the green in 2 shots on a par 4, but I'd say that's good enough for government work, whatever that even means. I also thought I knew what give it the old college try meant, and then I looked it up one day and I was not correct. Oh, we got it. Sweet. All right, we're still 2 over par. PVC, have you been able to do any golfing outdoors? I think that's really the only type of golfing you do anyway. Well, dude, PVC said, how was dinner? We ended up going over to this burger joint called Burley Burger. And the burgers are pretty okay, but it's super overpriced. It was good. We didn't like get dressed up and go somewhere fancy or anything like that. I hope that is not the message I was relaying, because that's not what we did. All right, that felt really good, but it's headed right. You guys, I'm not going to lie. That might be one of the most accurate bounces off of a hard object I've seen in GS Pro. No shit. And it's not because it went into the fairway, okay? It's because it took a somewhat natural bounce and it didn't zing into like the next fucking dimension like sometimes it will in the video game. So I like that. Yeah, PVC says he'd rather do a good burger. It's a good burger, but we keep on trying their different sides. They've got like sweet potato fries, beer battered fries, fried pickles, all of that shit you're not supposed to eat. And for some reason, it just doesn't do a whole lot for us. So what we'll do is we'll just end up getting regular hamburgers, you know. 205 yards up the fairway with a tailwind. I would say that's probably a 2-iron. You could also hit a fairway wood or a hybrid if you wanted to. But I like making things difficult for myself, so I'm going to hit this old 2-iron. Okay, that actually worked out. That's probably going to hit that hill, and we're going to get 10 or 20 extra yards of distance, which is pretty fucking sweet. So that ended up working well. 228 out of the 2-iron. We, of course, had a tailwind and some other factors helping us out, so don't go telling people I'm a professional golfer, okay? PVC said he played for the first time in almost 2 months last week. He's playing Fort Myers Country Club tomorrow. It's a Ross course built in 1917. Cool track. Let's check it out. Fort Myers Country Club. I love seeing these golf courses on the other side of the country because the one time I was going to go golfing in Florida, my buddy and I got too drunk the night before and we missed our tee time. That's right, I'm one of those guys. It's the only time I've ever done it though. I was doing some weird minty, he kept ordering these like mint flavored shots of something and they were really good and they went down easy and then one thing led to another, right? 40. Where the hell is, there it is. Fort Myers Country Club, Flo Rida. Fort, M-Y-E-R-S. Oh, buddy, I could get down with some of that shit. I want to play golf somewhere where there are palm trees. Okay, I don't know what tees you play from. Do you play from the 6,000 yard tees? Blue? So it looks like if you're playing the 6,000 yard tees, it's a 69 rating and a 127 slope. So it's not too bad of a golf course. If you play from the tips, it goes to a 71.4 rating and a 131 slope, which means it does get a little more difficult, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the course just gets longer or the back tees introduce more stupid shit you got to hit around like dog legs and all of that nonsense. So that's a pretty good looking golf course. Let's look at images. Oh, buddy, that's fancy. What are the greens fees look like? Look at this one with the rainbow. Come on, Facebook. Dude, fuck, I hate Facebook. Look at that. That's pretty. Dude, I want to play golf somewhere where there are palm trees. God darn it. You know, I've been thinking about it because I went and visited Flying Fat Kid. It's been a while now. I think it was back in September. I went to Ohio and visited Flying Fat Kid and we played 3 different courses in 2 days. So it was go, 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 go. I've been thinking about going on another golf trip. And I am down to play some white tees, man. Oh, PVC says you got to hit to elevated greens. Not my favorite, not my favorite. We're doing that right now. We're going to hit up to an elevated green. 50 yards, 64-degree wedge. Throwing a lot of numbers at you here. I would say that that was a half-assed attempt at a shot. But I felt it roll up my golf club, so I knew that thing wasn't going anywhere in a hurry. 36 feet, up a foot and an inch, up 13, so 49. 49 feet by feel. Yeah, it's raining outside now, or I wouldn't even be talking to you. Okay, that ball was smoked into the next county. Bit of a mental mistake there. It looks pretty flat up to down, so let's just go ahead and try to sink this putt. Nice. Got our par. $85 and $50 after 3:30 p.m. Is that because that's when it starts to cool down, or is that because when they're starting to get reduced patronage at 3:30? 30 to walk. It's 40 to walk everywhere here, dude. I walked my fat ass around every course around here, and it cost me 2 crisp $20 bills every goddamn time. Oh shit. We got 150 yards to go, but we're up a couple of yards, but we have a tailwind. So let's hit the 7-iron here. Let's dispense us a ball. We're gonna have to reload the chamber here. We only got a few more golf balls in there, but they're all starting to pile up over here. Oh, I gotta quit doing this. What do I got? A closed club face? Bounce right. We got a really good members bounce there. Like a really good members bounce. I don't remember buying a membership at this golf course, but that was a hell of a members bounce. That took us from a potential bogey to a potential birdie. So really nice members bounce there here on D-Lud's League. Let's dispense a golf ball. It looks relatively flat, but obviously it's leaking pretty hard from left to right, so we'll give ourselves a fighting chance, but we do need to hit about, I don't know, 14.5 feet. I didn't read it quite correctly. Yeah, I also prefer to play early, but PVC's saying the greens fees are reduced because it gets hot in the middle of the day, then starts to cool down. What do we got here? Hole 11, 388 yard par 4, excuse me. Let's hit, we're not gonna probably be able to get a driving iron out there very far because I'm having trouble hitting it, mostly in the sim. And also we've got a headwind. So we're probably better off just hitting a 3-wood here. We'll reload the golf ball dispenser here in just a second. The thing's really cool. Okay, there might be some follow-up shots from the beach here, but it looks like we're okay. That grass is short enough to where I don't think we would lose the ball, so we're not going to take a lost ball penalty. I'm actually looking forward to taking a lost ball penalty just to see how it works. And if we lose, if I think I would have lost my ball off the tee, I think we've got a re-hit option over here. Yeah, we do. But I don't know if it'll give you 3 off the tee. We'll find out. We'll find out together. Pretty decent shot there with the 3-wood, but you can see we were slightly over the top. I would like to get to where I'm coming into out, but I haven't been golfing long enough. That and the ProTee VX always thinks you're over the top. When I see these other guys with the ProTee VX launch monitors that are able to come in to out with their golf club swing path, I get a little bit jealous. I get into a bit of a jealous rage. All right, so we're hitting out of the rough, we're hitting into a headwind, and we're hitting uphill. There's no reason we should even think about hitting anything other than a 7-iron here, and that still may not go where we want it to go. I'm just glad that we're half-ass hitting irons, because yesterday was rough. It was fine at the golf course, and then like shit just fell apart. That was thin. Stay out of the bunker. I love how I talk for 5 minutes about half-ass hitting my irons, and then I hit a thin one into the bunker. That's golf for you, folks. Okay, another thing that is super easy in the simulator but is very difficult outside, depending on who you are, is of course the bunker shot. It depends on how buried you are. It depends on all of these factors. But I can just swing a normal swing and get out of the bunker here in the sim, no problem. right? It ain't a perfect shot, but it's out. And that's probably because we took a 50% speed penalty. Carry was 11 here, carry was 4 here, so we took more than a 50% speed penalty. And that usually does that out of a greenside bunker. All right, that was the last ball out of the dispenser, so we've got a little bit of, we got to do a reload here. 29 footer. Get in the hole. Oh, that was so damn close. Okay, we got a bogey there. That's unfortunate. That approach shot's what got us. Let's reload the ball dispenser here. I think I might have some more behind the enclosure, but I'm not sure. So we were able to play more than half the round just from what I had in the dispenser when I started the live stream. And I think we could probably get, I think we could get 3 or 4 more balls on there. I don't know if I have anything in here that I would dare to hit into this expensive impact screen, but let's see if I've got a few in here. There's one of my legatos. What the hell's that doing in here? Maybe I found that at the golf course. Okay, that's fully loaded. We should be able to finish out the round with that. All right, let's do the next Google that shit and see what people are saying on TikTok and see if it has any factual backing. PVC says during season most of our course costs over $150 before noon. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, I'm not going to bitch about my shitty $40 greens fees. That's pretty much year round. It doesn't change. All right, guys, if you're a person in the world right now and you're not using a Nokia cell phone from 1998, you've probably heard about this 62 million visits to this particular website that was teaching men to do very particular, very nasty, very unspeakable things to their wives. Okay? I'm not going to go any further into it because I don't know how much YouTube would like that. But what I wanted to do when I saw this one is fact check. Okay, because she doesn't say 62 million men, she says 62 million visits, which is good. That means she actually did a little bit of thinking before she hit go on this TikTok post. To be annoyed by women who are disgusted by it or argue semantics, you are part of the bigger problem. So I am going to argue semantics. Sorry, I use a lot of schematics at work. I'm going to argue semantics here. So let's see the 62 million visits. Let's ask Google how many, as if Google actually knows. Let's ask Google how many of the 62 million visits were men. How many? First, let's look up what is 62 million about and see if it's something I dare to read. Okay, based on a March 2026 investigation by CNN, the number 62 million refers to the estimated monthly visits in February to a specific pornography website, motherless.com. We are certainly not clicking on that. The figure became the focus of intense discussion and social media attention regarding the prevalence of online violence against women. Here are the key details. Guys, you can't have online violence against women. Okay? You can post pictures of it or stories about it, but you can't have online violence against women. That's like saying I'm going to take an online drink of water right now. It's not happening. There's nothing tangible. It's a website. 62 million represents the total site visits, not 62 individual users or men. Okay, so there's a question I was going to ask. However, the report highlights that its high traffic volume indicates a significant, normalized, and popular illicit online community. Yeah, we're going to be done here. The rest of the stuff gets a little too loaded for me. But I think it already kind of answered our question. And here goes more. The 62 million confusion, 62 million visits in 2026. The misinformation is this. Viral posts simplified this to mean that 62 million individual men were actively participating in that or seeking out assault content. The reality is, while 62 million figure represents total monthly traffic to a large multi-category pornography site, the investigation did not uncover a specific Telegram group. Okay, so this already answered my question. It wasn't 62 million men, it was 62 million hits to a particular website over 1 month, which is still fucking insane, okay? I thought it was 62 million throughout an entire year or throughout the website's existence. I didn't know it was in a month, which makes it kind of fucked up. The feminist perspective, many advocates argue that even if the number refers to site visits rather than individual men, the scale of traffic to a site hosting such content indicates a deeply normalized culture of violence. So there's a fact we can check. There's a fact we can check. So let's say it was 62 million men, and let's see what portion of the population 62 million people is. What percentage of the total world population is 62 million? Get help with your homework. Okay, guys, 62 million people represent approximately 0.75% of the world population. Looks like the world population is currently about 6.29 billion. So while I'm not saying this is okay, that these websites are okay, I'm not condoning them. There aren't laws that prohibit them, apparently. 62 million individual people that visited that site in 1 month is only 0.75% of the total world population. So all of these people that have been making these TikToks saying 62 million men, 62 million men, 62 million men is less than 1% of the world population. Now, if there were only 70 million people on the planet and 62 million fucking people visited that website, that would be very concerning, right? Because that'd be over 90%. But we're talking about less than 1% here. Okay, PVC says somebody got paid. All right, so we've beat this one up pretty good. This is a golf channel. This is not a news channel or a news outlet, but I was getting inundated with 62 million this and 62 million that. Apparently the morning or the couple of days after that happened, and I was just like, what are we talking about right now? Okay, the next one is more smut from TikTok. 12th hole is a 398-yard par 4 here at the Hills Golf Club. So I forgot to do something. I can't do the same live stream twice. The Hills Golf Club. I think it's referring to the one in New Zealand, basically because of the stuff I'm hearing. There we go. The Hills Golf Club is in New Zealand, Arrowtown, New Zealand. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. New Zealand, let's look at slope and rating. Okay, it says it's a high difficulty championship level golf course with a slope of 141. But I don't think that that's the tees we're playing. I don't think we're playing the back tees. So I'm guessing we're playing the white tees, which are a 125 slope rating. 125 slope and a rating of about 71. So a little more difficult than an average course from these tees, but you can see that if you decide to play the tips, you're probably going to get your fart box smashed in by this golf course. We're not doing too bad. I think, yeah, we're 3 over par, and that's mostly from just stupidity. Isn't it always from just stupidity? All right, let's hit 3-wood again. I need a golf ball. We're going to hit this max fly. Max fly, huh? Okay, that's going to put us just where we want to be unless something weird happens. But that ball, okay, the ball stopped. That's good. 250 yard, 3-wood. Looks like we had a little bit of a tailwind though, which I failed to recognize off the tee. I think I did. I think I might have. So with a tailwind like that, even though a tailwind doesn't affect your ball as much as a headwind does, it's not inversely proportional or whatever the word is. A headwind knocks your ball down more than a tailwind helps it out is what I'm saying. I think. From what I have experienced personally, that's what I think. That felt not a great shot, and it's not going to be. It's not even going to be on the green. And we're rolling back. We'll fast forward this because God knows how long it's going to go on. What was wrong with that shot? Toey, it only carried 125. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It felt okay, but I could tell something was certainly off. 29 yards. With the 54-degree wedge. That's going to be short. We'll get it one of these days. Sometimes the wedge is on fire and sometimes it's not. It's just the way it goes. We've dispensed a golf ball here. So about 25.5 feet. And that was a very valiant effort, but we are on a bogey train, unfortunately. And I can't even blame it on that I'm not using driver. We're just on a bogey train. Number 13 is a 550-yard par 5. This has got a lot going on. There's a lot of topography. Whoever imported this golf course into GSPro did due diligence, because you can see we've got like farmers fields. It even shows the markings from the equipment they use. It's got a little bit of everything. I think they did a really good job importing this into GSPro. So let's see who that was. Let's give them credit. It was Robotobot. I can't say I've ever heard of that import guy, person, course designer, but nonetheless, we appreciate it. Let's hit driver. Robotobot? I can get down with that. That's okay. Robotobot. We do got a bit of a tailwind that's blowing kind of at our butt cheeks here, if you will. And it looks like we might just sneak through the back of the fairway. I'm pretty sure we'd be able to find our ball right there. Ball speed is not great, but we're fine. We're fine. It's been another very busy weekend for me, so. I want to leave myself about a pitching wedge into this green, so let's hit a 4-iron, hopefully crisply. Probably in the bunker. Looks like, oh, we got some kind of a weird bounce or hiccup there. Not quite the shot I was looking for, but you can see that it was a bit toey. But we do got about 100 yards left, which was, I wanted to have 100 yards left out of the fairway, not the rough, but this could be, I normally don't condone the use of hitting a club harder than you normally would, but I don't want to go to a 7-iron here, or an 8-iron, excuse me. I grabbed the wrong club. I'm glad I looked down at it. That was smoked. So we could have actually used an 8-iron. We did get a members bounce though. So, sort of, kind of. Holy crap, this thing's still dribbling toward the hole. I have not had that happen so many times in a single round in my whole live streaming career. Nay, my whole GS Pro career. Downhill, leaking from right to left. We don't really like these types of putts. Luckily, they're more manageable with the ProTee VX than they are the Square Golf Launch Monitor. I honestly don't know how anybody uses that thing. My opinion. Those of you who use them, from what I've seen, use them well. And I haven't heard anybody bitching about the difference in ball speed between the outdoor golf course and the simulator. I've only ever seen people compare two different launch monitors, so yeah. PVC says, anything new in the bag since the lob wedge? Yeah, man, you missed a lot. I'm playing these Ping Beryllium Nickel ISIs now. Can you see that? And that's 1 through sand wedge because, and I'm not sure if I didn't look hard enough or it doesn't exist, but I can't find the beryllium nickel lob wedge for this set. So we're not even using the beryllium copper clubs anymore. They're over here chilling. They're not going anywhere. I don't ever get rid of golf clubs, but for now they're sidelined. And the beryllium nickel does have a softer feel to it, and these clubs are about 10 or more years newer, so they're a little more forgiving. Oh, so damn close. PVC says, let's see a little tour. What the hell are all the clubs on the wall? Is this long enough to do that? Did I run it underneath the carpet? I might be able to actually give you a little bit of a tour. Can we disconnect this from the tripod? I think we can. Did that work? You're going to get to see parts of the simulator that have not been seen by a lot of people. Like here's my wife's car over here. See all my junk and my bikes? There's the projector. There's the garage door opener. You can see I have pretty high ceilings. And then there's the ProTee VX launch monitor up there, kicking ass and taking names. And you can see that I've got a net over everything, but I know that's not what you asked for. Let's see if I can get over here. How does this look? So these are the one length irons. TRX performance slot irons. But they're one length irons with HDX graphite shafts, and they're actually quite nice. These other ones here, man, I suck at this. They're AGX Golf. They're like Amazon specials, but they're one length irons too. You can obviously see, you see how the grips on these ones are staggered, but the grips on these ones are all pretty much the same length. That's how you know they're single length. And then what do we got here? What are these? These are the Ping Zings. Green dot. We got quite a few of those. It looks like, I don't know, wedge through 9876543, maybe a 3 or a 2 iron. These are my Mizuno Pro 221s. And those are muscle back blade thingies, so they, I went through the phase everybody else goes through, that they think they can hit fucking blades or muscle backs, and they're actually not good enough golfers to do it. Wilson Staff Ultra 45s here that I got for a song from one of my friends. And I think that's like pitching wedge through 4 iron. Adams Tight Lies. These were my first set of matching irons. So Adams Tight Lies back circa, I don't know, 2000 something or other. Here's my first set of Ping I2s. And you can see I've got sand wedge through probably 1 iron here. But these are the pluses. So yeah, that was my first set of I2s. And then I bought the beryllium coppers. You can see I've got the, on these Ping G425s, you can see I've got these great big Bryson DeChambeau grips on them. Can't say I was really a fan. But these are the Ping G425s I bought from my boss because he upgraded. And I think that's like, there's a lot of them. I think I got like lob wedge through 4 iron because they didn't make a 3 iron. Because they don't need to, because everything's so lofted. And then these have the Alta CB regular flex graphite shafts. We're almost done here, guys. And then what the hell are these? These are the Ram Accubars. These are kind of junk clubs. I bought them off eBay for like nothing. My Ping G430 hybrids are here. 345. And then we got a bunch of other random clubs. You can see that I just buy random shit. All of this stuff. We got 2 Taylormade burner mini drivers. We got a persimmon over here. These are random clubs that don't match any group. And then these all fell over, but here are the beryllium coppers. They fell over. And then we got more golf clubs back here. Mostly putters and wedges. And then here's what's in the bag now. the ISI, ping ISIs, sand wedge through 1 iron. Hopefully that, look away from the screen, you're going to get seasick here. Hopefully that quenched your thirst for a tour there. I hope nobody gets motion sickness here, because if you do, you're going to get it now. Is that back where we can use it? I hope. There you go. PVC says, nice collection. You like those grips I see? Yeah, dude, I'm mentally handicapped. I've gone through a lot. I've only been golfing for under 2 years, so I said I'm gonna try all different stuff if I can. Why don't you play the newer pings? They're really clicky. If I'm being honest, they're really clicky. So if we hit this 4 iron, let's tee off with the Ping G425 4 iron here. It should go in this area here, if I can even hit it. They're pretty forgiving, but they're pretty clicky. Let's dispense a golf ball. So let's tee off here with the Ping G425 4 iron. Big old Bryson DeChambeau grips on this thing. Same way I feel every time I take a piss. I don't know if you could hear that, but they are insanely clicky. Also, nice shot there. Holy shit, is that how far this fucking 4 iron goes? No way. This 4 iron goes further than the 1 iron does from this set. Dude. 212 carry. Okay, so we had a tailwind. Maybe we were going downhill or something. Anyway, that was the Ping G425 4 iron. And now I'm wondering myself why I don't use the Ping G425s. So that put us in a really good position. We're uphill, playing about 160 with a tailwind. That actually felt pretty good. 160 with a tailwind. And that was off the deck. I didn't even use a tee. Maybe we should be using those clicky sons of bitches. Wow, that actually felt really good. You got me second guessing myself, dude. Oh, but those are buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. They're not clicky at all. They feel... Are we going to get another members roll here? Holy shit. Look at her go. Look at her go. PVC says just change the grips. Yeah, I got all kinds of grips in my shop. I buy them in bulk. I don't know, dude. I'm starting to actually second guess my life here. And that's with a regular flex shaft. Oh, those feel good. Dude, look what you did. I'm second guessing all the clubs in my bag now. God damn it. That did feel good. It felt so good. All right, we got a nasty downhill putt playing about 22 feet. That 4 iron only used to go like 190. Get in the cup. Yeah, I don't like the big Bryson DeChambeau grips. They're not my cup of tea. All right, let's hit driver. Man, that golf club felt so good. That pisses me off. God damn it. PVC said he sees the sound being more of a factor in a simulator. Yeah, that's true. I haven't hit him outside in a while. But he says he used to play the Nike Square. Nike Square for a few years. Is that a set of irons? Nike Square irons, or is that a driver? Oh no, you're good. You can see, I've only been golfing for like a year and 8 or 9 months, and I've tried a lot of shit. Muscle backs / blades, cavity backs, you name it. Old clubs, new clubs, Nike Square. Is it only a driver or is it irons? Okay. Oh, SQ. So I got something over here. I got too much shit over here, guys. So is that... Because I got this Nike SQ driver here. I thought it was called the Sasquatch. I know the shaft says Sasquatch, but I got this driver. Man, that's a shitty reflection. But anyway, I got this driver. SQ Sasquatch, just the driver. Okay, so yeah, I've got one too. Maybe we'll give that a smack here in a second. Aren't I about to tee off with driver anyway? Yeah, I think I got this off eBay for 90 bucks. Let's give it a shot and see what it does. We're hitting into a tailwind. Is it T Radcliffe? Or let me know how to pronounce your name, but welcome to the chat. We're glad to have you. And then Tim, for golf's sake, is in the chat. Tim's from down under. I haven't seen you in a while, sir. It's good to see you. And then PVC has welcomed everyone to the chat as well. So let's hit this Nike Sasquatch driver here, since we're going down a trip down memory lane. Okay, it's drawing. This might be our first lost golf ball. Nope, I think we could find that ball, but it felt good. 268, 150 mile an hour of ball speed there. That wasn't bad. That thing actually felt really good. 56 yards. Let's hit the sand wedge. Ball dispenser. Dispense a ball. Okay, I'm assuming it's Mr. Radcliffe, has given me a thumbs up for the pronunciation. That makes me feel good inside. Boink. It won't stay in the circle, but it was a pretty good shot. People who are good at golf know to hit short enough so the ball rolls up to the pin, not away from the pin. And then we'll do another Google that shit here in a second. We're going uphill. It's bending pretty hard from right to left. It is not uphill, it's downhill. I digress. So we're going to need to play even more break. Like 11 feet. This is going to be tricky and slippery. Nope. That is a missable putt there, unfortunately. The square driver sounds like hitting a bag of glass. That's true. Let's do another Google that shit. We're gonna Google this shit. So this girl is saying that exercise equipment was designed by men because she's too short to reach the thing on this like lat pull down machine, it looks like. A man designed the workout equipment because she can't reach the handle on the lat pull down machine. So it looks like she's got the leg part that sits on the top of your thigh it's not even where it needs to be, but I can't see if she's adjusted the height of the seat. These are highly adjustable machines. Any gym you go to, there's just about an adjustment for every goddamn thing on the machine. But she's bitching about this machine not working for her. So let's Google this shit. Even though I know this is just rage bait, let's go ahead and Google it anyway. I'm going to Google something simple, and I know what it's going to say. But we may Google a couple of things. Is gym exercise equipment designed by men? There we go. Because men are such pieces of shit. Yes, much traditional gym exercise equipment is designed based on the average male body measurements, biomechanics, and height. That's not what I asked. I asked if gym exercise equipment was designed by men, but that'd be pretty hard to track down now that I think about it. So let's check out gym exercise equipment height range. And I realize we've got some extra words in here. No. Range of human heights gym exercise equipment is designed for. Jesus. Commercial gym exercise equipment is generally designed to accommodate a range of human heights between 4'11", 5th percentile female, and 6'2", which is a 95th percentile male. So you're covering 4'11" through 6'2". Okay. So there you go. Unless this girl is below the 5th percentile female, she should be able to adjust the seat height so that she can use this machine. She's obviously just wanting to bitch on TikTok. That's kind of what people do. But there you go. We Googled that shit. Unless she is below the average height for a 5th percentile female, she should be able to use this piece of equipment and should also thereby shut her fucking mouth. And guys, Google said it, not me, okay? I'm not a monster. Google is the monster. Oh, shit. For Golf's Sake says he played a 4-man Ambrose yesterday on Scrape Sand Green's course. That was fun. We came 4th out of 13 teams. PVC says congratulations, and For Golf's Sake says they should have come in 2nd, but left a bit out there. Yeah, that's good. I've never come in that high on any sort of a golf event, but I'm also not that good at golf. All right, guys, let's hit an 8-iron here. If I even remember how to hit a golf ball, because I've been yapping my gums more than I've been swinging the golf club. And then let's play a little to the left because the wind's going to want to push us to the right. Right into that stream over there, looks like to me. So we'll dispense a golf ball. Hopefully that camera's still running. It looks like it is. and we hit it to the left. The wind's not going to be able to overcompensate for that, but we would have been about pin high, I think, if the shot would have landed on the green. Can't really bitch about it. We got another cool little members something or other there. And then there's some circular object up here in the background that I would like to know what is. What is that? Let's go into free look and find out what that is. I don't know if it's a glitch in the matrix or... What the hell is this? Looks like it's some kind of statue, not statue, but some kind of monument or something. I don't know what that is. Maybe you try to hit through it. Just kidding, that'd be a terrible idea. All right, 20 yards. PVC said he got disqualified from a scramble he played in. And then for golf's sake asked him why. I would also like to know why. Oh! Struck the pin. It was probably for being too good at golf. Or maybe it was for drinking too many beers. Yeah, that's what it was for. PVC had too many beers because he's a pimp. Oh, shit. Guys, that was a mental mistake. That was stupid. Much like most of the golf we play here on the channel. PVC says they bought mulligans. Sometimes they do that in scrambles, sometimes they don't. Says they bought mulligans and used them, but I guess we were supposed to just deduct them from our final score. No one in our group listened to the rules. Well, that's not a mulligan is a re-hit. It's a re-hit without taking a stroke. So a mulligan, if you hit a tee shot out of bounds, could save you 2 strokes. That doesn't make any sense. They shouldn't have been called mulligans. Every scramble I've played in that sold mulligan tickets, they were true mulligans. As in, you get to hit the ball again. Which, like I said, might save you several strokes, right? Let's hit the 5-wood here. We got a pretty gnarly tailwind. Am I out of my mind, or can a mulligan, especially if you hit OB, a mulligan could save you 2 strokes, right? Okay, maybe this is our first lost golf ball. We'll have to evaluate it. No, you could find that ball. That wouldn't be a problem. Hey, you're up there in front of the deep rough. Copy, thank you. You're a great person. 261 uphill, we're not getting there. Let's try to leave ourselves about 100 out. And for PVC says drinking might have been a factor. Mr. Radcliffe says think of speed of play, but yes, they probably should have been named differently. Yeah, people taking mulligans in a scramble, especially if it's not a shotgun start scramble, kinda sucks. It kinda sucks. Okay, let's just try to advance up here so we can hit up to the green with about a pitching wedge, maybe a 9-iron. That was a terrible shot off the toe. Just keep rolling. So if it's going to roll back down the hill, we're going to slowly start to need more club here. It's probably still going. It stopped at 135, up 8. So let's hit an 8 iron. And we got to mind the wind. I mean, it's a widely known fact in golf that mulligan means basically re-hit without a stroke or distance penalty, right? But they usually do announce the rules at the beginning of the scramble, so maybe they were already drunk. Okay, that ball is fading. We kind of needed it to draw. Still not a bad shot, 15 yards from the pin. It's a par 5, so we're not in too much trouble yet. Little ball dispenser. This thing's pretty rad. Oh, God. I hate that shit so much. I hate when those shots just die, right? It took you 3 shots to cover. It took you 3 shots to cover 450 yards, and then you waste one to go 7. That's the bane of the amateur golfer right there. 15. So now we're probably looking at a bogey. Piss poor putt there. So that sucks, guys. That was an okay hole there for a second, but then it kind of went downhill. Hey, yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliments on the setup. You go have fun at the range. I'd be out there too right now, but it's raining. Thanks for stopping in, sir. Have a good one. I hope the range treats you well. PVC says they bought 8 mulligan tickets and it only saved us 2 strokes. We probably would have won, but it was all for charity, so no big deal. Yeah, because if you would have just subtracted 8 strokes from your score at the end, who knows what your score would have been. Let's hit the driver and hopefully we don't lose a golf ball. Sometimes I call it the driver, and sometimes I call it driver. Uh-oh, do we got our first lost ball? You guys, I'm going to go ahead and say from my vast amount of experience out on the golf course that ball is lost. So this is the first chance we get to try out this mechanic. It's not actually a mechanic. So if you have a lost ball off the tee as a professional golfer, you're going to be hitting 3 off the tee. If you play like a normal amateur golfer, you just kind of go to where you think the ball landed and you take a drop somewhere. So what do you guys think I should do? Should I go 3 off the tee for a lost ball? Or should I take a 1-stroke penalty and drop over here like a normal, like amateur would do? Let me know in the chat and I'll try whatever you guys tell me. Because we do have a sim drop option that I know will charge us 1 stroke. And we do have a re-hit option, which might be 3 off the tee. So let me know in the chat real quick what you think I should do. Do we play it as an amateur or do we play it as a professional? Lateral out, copy, sir. So we're going to go take a sim drop here. The ball went about right here. So I'm going to lateral out to I can't lateral to the fairway, right? I can go back as far as I want from on a line from between the pin and my ball, right? Or can I lateral, would I be able to lateral out to right here and take a sim drop? Let's just take our 1 stroke penalty here for losing a ball and go with it. There we go. It's the 18th hole. Maybe we'll try the other re-hitting at a different time. But there we just took a 1 stroke penalty. We're now on our 3rd stroke. And let's just try to get over here to the pin. We got some wind blowing, so let's aim for the pin and just hit a 7-iron, excuse me. 2 clubs. Yeah, dude, I shit the bed on that. We'll do 2 clubs next time. My bad, dude. The official ruling is 2 clubs, but GS Pro will let you do anything in a radius around the pin. Like we could have gone into that forest and hit the ball as long as we were no closer to the pin, right? It's a perfect circle around the pin. Okay, so we lost the ball off the tee. We took a lateral, and the ball's giving us a members roll again, which I like. We've got a slightly downhill putt here, 27 feet. Playing about 26. Okay, I didn't hit it hard enough, but you can see that it was tracking back toward the pin. And there we go. It took us an hour and 45 minutes to do D-Lud's League, and it looks like we shot a 79. The only lost ball penalty we took was on 18. That's the only chance I got to use it. PVC said to take a lateral. I've got to decide if I'm going to take a lateral 1-stroke penalty or if I'm going to take a 3 off the tee. Depending on what type of shot it was and from where, right? Or just re-hit. You can also re-hit from the original spot of the original ball. I think that's an option. Is it really only noon? I'm so used to golfing on weekends. Is it really only noon? Holy shit, it is. That's crazy. PVC said nice round. Yes, it was okay. So what do I want to do here? Let's let GS Pro choose us a course and play 1 more round. All courses. We obviously want to sort to never been played. Where is that? Filters. All quick filters, never played. So all courses in GS Pro, never played. So what GS Pro is going to do is select a course out of the 2,100 and basically 40 courses here. All courses never been played. So let's randomize. It says Jefferson Golf and Country Club. Do we got something closer to 6,000? Let's play yellow tees, 6,200 tees. Sunday pins. Let's turn off. No auto putting, nothing like that. Normal. Stimp 11. Calm wind. We're going to turn off putting assist. We're going to make putting forgiveness hard. Brake line indicator. Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay, let's do it, guys. Jefferson Golf and Country Club by Tech Bud, so you know it's going to be good. For golf's sake says it's 4 a.m. here, and he just got out of the garage after reshafting his Ping G400 2 hybrid. A 2 hybrid. He said it used to have an extra stiff shaft, and now it's a regular shaft, regular flex shaft. Let's check out Jefferson Golf and Country Club. I think I misspelt something there. 2 F's, my bad. It looks like it's in Blacklick, Ohio, United States of America. We are playing from the Jones tees, which is going to give us a rating of 70 and a slope of 130. So it ain't going to be easy, but it ain't going to be terribly difficult, is basically the gist. That's kind of cool. Okay, 230. All right, here we go. Oh, let's reload the golf ball dispenser. We had one escape over here. We got one I got a golf ball in my pocket, which I started doing during the winter to keep them warm. All right, we're fully reloaded. The dispenser's fully reloaded. We need a golf ball to hit with right now. There it goes. We're in Ohio. Flying Fat Kid also lives in Ohio. I had a good time there. Very, very beautiful. A lot more trees and green stuff than there are here in Utah. Okay, there's your little piss missile. And it ain't gonna go very far. But that's okay. I am back up to a 16 handicap, and sometimes you just hit shitty shots like that. It is what it is. Next shot's 200 yards into the pin. I think that's a little much to ask, but we'll try to get it up there with a 3-iron. There's obviously a lot of danger of water up here, so we need to hit a semi-straight shot. But with a club this long, you really don't know how that's going to turn out. All you can do is your best. Give it your best shot. It's headed left, but we're probably okay. That was a pretty decent shot with the Ping ISI 3-iron there. I am not going to complain, especially after that tee shot. The tee shot was abysmal. Okay, we got some stuff going on in the chat. For golf's sake says he likes my videos. I appreciate it, sir. Okay, guys, there's no putting assist on in GS Pro other than the stupid dots. You can turn those off, but I'm not willing to go to those lengths yet. And we're using 0 gimmies, so even this putt here that seems pretty routine is a missable putt. It looks like for golf's sake's been up for 21 straight hours. He's burning the midnight oil as we speak. Five-footer. Okay, we got a little par there, even though we're sort of ratcheting up the difficulty. Just reset everything. No. What do you guys think of the Google that shit thing I'm doing? Is it worthwhile, or does it just detract from the golf? Because I don't care either way. I'm just trying to entertain. Second hole is a 416-yard par 4. Let's see if we can avoid hitting another piss missile. Okay, pretty good shot there, 282, 150 ball speed, and that was into a slight headwind, so no complaints. PVC says he likes it. Okay, we'll do another one here after we're done with the third or fourth hole. I just get so sick of hearing people say shit that is not backed by statistics or some kind of data, even though using Google AI is not necessarily backed by any sort of like, you know, university, you know what I'm saying? Like an academic or a scholar produce the data. It's not necessarily backed like that. That was heavy. Hopefully we're on the green. Nope. Okay, there's going to be some sort of shot forthcoming. We've got to get close to the pin because we don't have gimmies on here. Yeah. Did not achieve the desired objective. So let's putt a couple of times. Hopefully we only putt a couple of times because this is for par. .26.5 footer. Oh. What do we got here? Shorty. Your buddies are like, just take the gimme, bro. That one's good. I get it. For Golf's Sake says he's got a wireless microphone coming in a day or two to replace his cheap, shitty eBay one, so we'll be doing more sim videos very soon. Yeah. For Golf's Sake says they die pretty quick, so it makes it hard to do a video. These are all facts. Hole number 3 is a 400, let's call it a 500-yard par 5. And we don't want to be in the water. So let's hit driver, the most unpredictable club in the bag, even though we don't want to be in the water. I think I'm using, they're called Saramonic. I got it from Best Buy. They've been pretty good to me, dude. Battery only dies if I set it in the cradle wrong and it was never charging to begin with. That's the only time the battery dies. Okay, split the fairway, good shot. We're not in the water. We didn't lose a golf ball. All is well for now. All is well for now. But you can see up here we're hitting to a bit of a peninsula, a green. It's not quite a peninsula, but you got to carry the water. So you got to carry 200 yards. I don't have a club in my bag that will reliably go to a target this small, so I think what we're gonna do is just hit like a little shot up here into this fairway that looks like it's pretty undulating and see what we can do. But I'm not gonna willingly lose a golf ball if I don't have to. That's not to say that this ball won't go in the water, but I'm not gonna do it willingly. Because I could tee up, not tee up, but I could try like a 7 or a 5 wood that go high enough they would plop down on that green and probably stop, but I'm a rookie golfer, so that is a big bet that I'm not willing to take, because there's some chance this one's going in the water anyway, right? Not a bad shot. It's obviously further right than I intended, but it's still achieving the objective. So imagine if we'd have hit a shot that errant and tried to go for the green. We'd probably be fishing our ball out of the water. Who knows? 75 downhill into the pin. Maybe we hit some sort of 70-yard-ish shot, 68 yard. I really have not matrixed my wedges, so those shots are a little harder. It's easier said than done. Okay, that was a good shot. I think we're putting for birdie. I mean, we could make this, theoretically. For golf's sake, said your 7 wood would do it. Yes, but going over that much water, I'm not sure that would have been a good idea, sir. Oh, for the love of Pete. Unfortunately, I did that a couple of times this weekend on the golf course, so it does happen. Played too much break. And there you are with a par. PVC says his mic would last about 4 hours. It's just not great in wind. Yeah. Even with the fluffy thing, he says the fluffy thing doesn't do it every time. You guys, let's get to about pitching wedge distance out. I'm thinking with that tailwind, maybe a 7 wood. A 7 wood or an iron. I'm not sure we're really in a position where we need to use an iron. We've got a pretty decent landing area, but hopefully we're not in the drink. Probably should use an iron on a narrow area like this, but we'll chance it. All right, that's fine. That's exactly the shot we wanted and a little bit more. Imagine that. Imagine getting more than you wanted. So now I think we're okay with a pitching wedge, but I don't want to go too long. That's a good shot. But we're not using gimme circles, so we've got to be try to be pretty accurate with the putt. It's playing about 9 feet. Just need to kind of tap the ball and watch it break. Good try. So we got a 2-footer here. All right, let's play the Google that shit game here. This person's saying a thing, and we're going to try to back it up or say that it's not true based on what Google says. We're going to try to actually use facts and logic. Okay, so this woman here, she looks fun. She really does. On March 9th of 2026, though not that long ago, the United Nations headquarters in New York City, sorry, I can't read. The U.S. was the only country in the world to vote against a UN document affirming women's rights. What? In the year 2026, this happened? It says 37 countries voted yes, 6 abstained. You guys, abstaining's not that much different than voting no, okay? So let's not let old fucking Sally Two Shoes here make America sound like it's as bad as she's trying to make it sound. So let's see if this is true. Let's Google this shit. We'll keep it up over here. Let's go ahead and Google this shit. Was the U.S. the only country to vote against a UN document affirming women's rights? Okay, there we go. Let's see what Google says. Okay, looks like this one's true, boys and girls. Yes, the United States was the only country to vote no on the adoption of the final agreed conclusions document. What in the fuck is that? At the 70th session of the UN Commission on the Status of Women in March of 2026, which focused on advancing women's rights and access to justice. While 37 countries voted in favor and 6 abstained, the U.S. stood alone in opposition. And we've got 4 sources here. I think that's what this means. I think that's what AI's pulling from. Okay, let's read about the reasons for opposition. The U.S. opposed the document due to concerns regarding language on gender, abortion rights, and intersectionality, attempting to submit 8 amendments that were all rejected. The U.S. tried to redefine gender to mean men and women throughout the UN document, a move that was blocked by the other members. It was an unprecedented vote. This marked the first time in the 70-year history of the Commission on the Status of Women that the agreed conclusions were put to a vote rather than adopted by consensus. The U.S. also stood alone in voting against separate UN resolutions regarding humanitarian assistance. Jesus, so it is true. She is correct. We Googled that shit, and she's correct. I got nothing, guys. That's pretty sad, though. And I'm wondering if it was a matter of some sort of like technical shit, which it sounds like it kind of was, but that is pretty wild to hear the United States doing something like that. But is it, considering who's in office? Is it actually that wild? I don't know. So there we go, guys. There's another Google that shit segment on Turbo Talon Golf here. So she is correct. I didn't think she was correct, but some of the comments were saying shit like, that's not true, that didn't happen. So I said, this is good fodder for a Google that shit segment. Okay, the next one's kind of ambiguous, but we'll see what happens. Hole number 5 is a 423-yard par 4, beautiful golf course. Of course, if I pull something over here in the trees, we may have to exercise our right to take a drop or hit 3 off the tee. I don't know what we'll do. And I really don't want to leave myself that far into the pin. So what I'm going to do is hit driver. That is crazy. For golf's sake says the ball dispenser is cool. Yes, sir. My sister 3D printed this for me. And I said to use blue and green colors, and she did a wonderful job. Very nice print job. It's a sturdy little piece, and I think that it will serve me for many years to come. So hopefully she is watching the video, which I don't think she watches my channel, or she at least sees the dispenser in action to confirm that her hard work was indeed worth it. We caught that Healy, so it's gonna, nope, we're not even gonna have to decide if we can find the ball or not. I do believe that ball is in the fairway in plain sight, so we're good to go. We did leave ourselves quite a long shot into the pin. It's 182 playing 186. So let's hit the Ping ISI 4-iron because it goes about that distance. And spray it and pray it. We're spraying and praying here with the 4-iron, guys. Oh, it was thick. Get up there. That was thick. Oh well, that's golf for you. 37 yards. Let's hit a little sand wedge and see if we can get near the pin. We've got to be very close to the pin because we're not playing gimmies. And putting forgiveness, or whatever the piss it's called, has been shut off. So we want to land, I don't know, 32 yards here. Nope. I would love to have those distances down to a science, but I don't. I haven't been golfing long enough, and I don't practice my short game enough. I am not too much of a man to admit that I should practice my short game a lot more than I do. 23 feet. Okay, that's certainly not going to be a tap in. That's a very missable putt. A 5-foot putt is missable. It's missable, admissible in court. Okay, we barely burned the left edge of the cup there for a bogey. I mean, they're only G425s, dude. They're not even new. Can I remember what my 170 club for that set was? Hey, dude, so what I'll do is maybe I'll do another episode where I use the Ping G425s with the monstrous Bryson DeChambeau grips on them. But for now, I'm going to stick to the old Ping ISIs because that's what I've been hitting for the last little while. Also, I'm a huge pussy and I don't want to hit a random club from the wall here over water. So hopefully that's okay with you. 172 with a little bit of a headwind. I'd rather blast past the green than not hit far enough. Okay, the water gets, no, son of a bitch. The water gets, so why would we drop right here instead of where the ball entered the hazard? That's kind of weird. I don't get why GSPRO does this, but I'm also not an expert on the rules of golf. That was a good shot, it just didn't go far enough. It went far enough in the lab software, just not far enough in GSPRO. So we've lost a ball. Obviously we took a penalty for it though. I'm sad to see that ball go. Okay, par threes sometimes have drop zones. I've seen a couple, they don't have a ton of them here in Utah. 9-footer playing 11 feet. Oh. Okay, this is for double bogey. You always hate these on the golf course. Triple bogeys are even worse. It's real hard to recover from a triple bogey. Unless you happen to pull an eagle out of your ass. That triple bogey is probably going to haunt you pretty much the entire round. All right, 475 yard par 5 is the next hole we'll be tackling. We got a little bit of wind, and if I hit a toe hook, we might be OB. And we also might lose a ball altogether here. Let's see what happens. Nope, we're just fine. No lost ball today. The par threes probably have drop zones so you don't just sit and hit one ball after another off the tee into the water, right? Because you wouldn't be very long before you were double par on that hole, you know. So even though that was a really good shot, wait, it's a par 5, so that was a really good shot because we only got 212 into the pin. Let's hit the 7-wood and see if we can get up near this green, but I'm not sure. Let's just see what happens. That's not a bad shot. It ain't probably going to be on the green. Oh my God, we got so lucky. Holy shit. So we've got a 16-foot putt for eagle here, which is unprecedented here on the channel. It's a bit of a son of a bitch of a putt though, so I'm not expecting much. Let's put it on the line and see how bad it breaks. 16 feet of a pretty nasty break. 16 feet. Oh, that was dog shit. That wasn't even a good putt. Come on, buddy. 3-footer for birdie. Son of a bitch. That was a bad putt. Okay, there we go. That was one of 2 birdies we've had during this entire live stream. PVC said I could do it, and then I shit the bed on you, buddy. I'm sorry. 128 is going to be about a 9-iron. How many stupid gadgets can a 45-year-old man have in his simulator? Stay tuned. Oh, get up there. We're getting so many lucky bounces here, it's kind of crazy. PVC says, nice birdie, I appreciate it. They're pretty rare these days, dude. I went through a streak about 2 months ago when we were golfing. And my handicap dropped from like a 20 or a 22 down to a 14 like fucking overnight. I had a bunch of good putts. I was chipping shit in. I was keeping the ball on the fairway. And then the handicap's starting to creep back up. It's at like a 15.8 again. So I realize it's not a linear event. Your handicap never stays the same. And sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. So I'm not too bent out of shape about it, but the birdies are pretty few and far between these days outside on the real course. All right, we got to hit a 40, I don't know what, 47 foot putt. And we were hoping to lag it up a little more than that. This looks a lot like real golf. When you don't have a huge gimme circle, we've got to physically put the ball in the hole, right? This is playing about 10 feet. Hey, what's up, Aussie? PVC says 15 is good. Dude, I am not saying that it's not good. I'm just stating that it's went down and it's coming back up. I am perfectly happy being a 16 handicap golfer. 16 handicap golf is good enough to beat most people you walk out on the tee box with, if that is what you're interested in, is beating people in golf. But I am perfectly happy where I'm at, dude. I promise you that. 365-yard par 4 is the 9th hole at Jefferson Golf and Country Club, which of course GS Pro chose for us because I'm out of shit to play on my SGT league. And if we're able to hit a couple of 100 yards, I'm not sure what we'll have into the pin. Let's hit something a little more powerful. Let's hit the 5 wood. And guys, I got too many clubs in my bag right now. I'm playing an illegal number of clubs because I got all my irons and then I've added my woods back too. So hopefully this doesn't slice too much. Okay, it's fading a little bit, but we should be fine. I just don't want to have some monster shot into the green, you know. So we're looking at a 8, 9 iron into the green now. You guys, along with what PVC just said, don't let anybody bully you about your handicap. If your handicap's a 36, who cares, right? You ideally want it to creep down, and I've said this on the channel a lot of times, you ideally want your handicap creeping down towards scratch, but for some golfers that might take 10 years. For some golfers, they may never ever achieve that. I don't know if I will ever achieve scratch golf. I started golfing when I was like 43 years old. I have a bit of athleticism to exercise, but don't let anybody bully you about your handicap. If you're tracking your handicap and you aren't taking a bunch of mulligans and breakfast balls and all that stuff, I'm not saying never to do it, and you're genuinely trying to track your handicap, I think that you're going above and beyond most recreational golfers. So it doesn't matter if you're a scratch golfer or a 32 handicap. Just as long as you're out there playing and you're having a good time, I say who freaking cares, you know? Based on our previous history of duffing shots here, I'm just gonna club up and hit an 8-iron. Just keep your handicap if you want to. If you don't, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your score, right? That's gonna go right, and it was soft, so it might be in the bunker. Yeah, there we go. That shot didn't feel good. And all the stuff, you guys, that I know a lot of golfers get weird about out on the course. Like the guy we were playing with yesterday got really weird about taking a mulligan off the tee. And I started thinking, like, I don't care if the guy takes a mulligan off the tee. Now, if we're walking off the 18th green and he's like, dude, I just shot a 68, like, we're going to talk about your fucking mulligans. But I don't personally, as long as the pace of play is not affected too much, I don't care if you take a mulligan or a breakfast ball. As long as you're not claiming that was your actual score, right? There are some caveats. And then I thought of all the times that I was embarrassed to tee up another ball after I just toe hooked one out of bounds on the first tee, right? And then I was like, nobody cares. Do what you've got to do to have a good time. Get in the hole. Oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, just do what you got to do to have a good time. Nobody cares about your score. Nobody cares if you take a mulligan or you tee up a breakfast ball. Nobody cares, as long as it's not affecting pace of play. If you move your ball over a few feet so that you're not behind a tree trunk, nobody gives a shit, right? You don't do it in tournament play or during a scramble, but other than that, nobody cares. Hey, I don't want to hit off this tree root. Cool, nobody cares. Move your ball. Hole number 10. It looks like we can kind of go full stupid here with driver. We should be fine. Yeah, PVC says he's had more fun playing with a 36 handicap golfer over a scratch golfer. 100%. It's been a while, but we were playing with a pretty good set of guys, and they were basically walking rule books, and it was really annoying. It was super annoying. I have fun playing golf with people who have fun playing golf, right? Okay, are we going to have to look for a lost ball? Nope. We got another members bounce into the fairway, if you can believe that. That is just crazy. Yep. PVC says, unless you're paying for my round, don't tell me how to play. 100% on board with you, buddy. And PVC says he's not hitting from cart paths or rocks. There's a golf course down the road for me. It's actually the closest course technically to my house. I'm not going to say the name of it, but if anybody from Utah, northern Utah, who's played it is watching the stream, the bunkers are basically like construction gravel, and I won't hit out of them. I'm not going to hit a $200 Vokey wedge out of a pit full of rocks. I pick my ball up and I'll lateral out, or I'll go behind. I'm not doing that. I don't think you should have bunkers that are fucking gravel anyway, but you know, who am I to say? Guys, let's just hit a easy little shot up into this area here, and then we should have about a pitching wedge into the green. But yeah, if you guys have ever heard Shane O say the thing about you're not good enough at golf to get mad, I think that those are pretty true words. Should have a pitching wedge or another 9-iron in, probably another 9-iron because we didn't quite get a hold of the ball. And the dispenser is officially out of balls, so we'll have to reload it after this, this shot. So we're hitting another 9-iron in. Let's hit it better this time. Bigger, better, stronger. That's still a little short, actually. I don't know what's going on. Club's head speed's down a few miles an hour, which is probably just from me being on, what, hour 3 of this live stream? 2.5 hours. We're done after this because I'm going to go play some video games, but you just slowly start to get tired. Nothing new. And if we can sink this putt, that would be amazing. Let's take a ball from the gallery here. We might be able to make this putt. Even with no assists on, putting in GS Pro is obviously going to be much easier than it is outside because you have these little beads, Tiger Woods style, that are telling you where to hit your ball. So hopefully we're not below the cup or above it and we're just in. Oh, didn't play enough break. Son of a bitch. You guys, that's real golf for you right there. 100%. This thing is so cool. Thank you to my sister. I'm going to probably have her 3D print me a bunch of stupid gadgets for the simulator. All right, we're fully reloaded with the ball dispenser. We just took a goddamn bogey because I can't make a 7-foot putt, but that's neither here nor there. Let's hit a 3-wood here and try to be about a pitching wedge out from the pin. PVC said, what game are you playing? That Windrose and under par looks good. I'm not sure what you're saying, sir. Elaborate, or maybe you put that in the wrong chat. I don't know. For golf's sake says you're playing very good smart golf in the sim. It definitely helps with the real rounds. So I play like this outside now too. Sometimes my buddies pull the driver out of their bag and I'm like, hey dude, I'm going to hit an iron. Everybody's just different. I think there's kind of some pressure to blast the golf ball off of the tee with driver right now. It's just kind of the state of golf. I personally don't think I'm good enough to ever even hit driver. Okay, guys, that's not going to get us as close as we wanted to be. We're looking more at maybe a 9 or an 8 iron here. That was a Healy fade with the 3-wood. Yeah, I do. So I haven't gotten on iRacing in probably close to a year. And I'm sure you'll agree with the statement I'm about to make. You have to be fucking dedicated to be any good to place in iRacing. You have to be dedicated. You have to know every inch of that racetrack. So what was happening is I didn't want to divide my time at memorizing racetracks with my golf. So I kind of had to make a decision. I still play American Truck Simulator, which I know is kind of dumb, but I have fun playing it. But you've got to be so dedicated in iRacing to place to podium. I just didn't really have the time to dedicate to it, if that makes sense. But I don't know how you rank. It just takes so much practice to memorize those tracks. And then, that's a really good shot. Another thing I didn't like was, I hate it when I get crashed out of a race. Like somebody bumps in your ass end brakes loose or something during a race. That drives me fucking nuts, dude. Because you went through qualifying, you probably spent 30 or 40 minutes or an hour practicing the track before the race. And then some dumbass bumps into the back of your car and breaks your ass end loose. And if you don't slide into a wall and bash your car up, you all lost a bunch of places, so kind of the same result. Yeah, I mean, I've never had as much fun in a video game as I have playing iRacing, because it gets your heart beating. Because I play it in VR, so you can literally look around your entire car. You can look at your mirrors. It's really nice. I used to play it on a big curved monitor, but I never ran triples. Yeah, dude, I had a lot of fun playing fucking iRacing. I was doing the start from the pits thing for a while. Oh, okay. PVC, let me scroll back up. Okay, so that makes more sense. So what I'm playing right now is an old Neo Geo game from like 1996. It's called Neo Turf Masters. It's an arcade type golf game. That's what I'm playing right now. I'm not doing anything serious. Like I did start up a new save in Oblivion Remastered, but I'm not doing anything that serious right now. I just don't have the attention span. So I'm just playing that Neo Turf Masters. Yeah, I am going to go play video. I might have to go buy some propane, but I'm going to play video games after that. I might play some video games here on the channel. They'd always be golf games. Oh, come on. That's headed right for the bunker. Okay, good shot. No, you heard me correctly. That's my bad, dude. All right, let's see if we can save ourselves from ourselves. We're short-sighted. So for golf's sake says he was playing iRacing in the sim through a 4K projector. Yeah, if you've got good enough field of view, that could be really fun. All right, that's about the best we were going to do out of that lie. If we were too short, we would have been stopped up in the rough. Instead, we went a little too long. And for golf's sake, says he has done VR for racing. Sometimes because the different tracks are different, you know, some are more graphically intensive than others. But if I can't maintain 90 frames a second, sometimes I start to get like VR motion sickness, which kind of sucks. Always love those putts. Yeah, dude, it takes a lot of time to memorize the tracks, and I hate getting crashed out by some stupid asshole. That's why when you get in there and you see people that have a good I rating and a good safety rating, you're like, okay, I'm probably not going to get crashed out of this race, but it's few and far between. Okay, guys, let's do another segment of Google that shit. It looks like my phone disconnected. Let's connect back up to Lonely Screen and see what we got next. We're not even going to, this one won't make good fodder for the segment. Let's look at something else. Nope, that's not a good one. So here's one that I might catch shit for based on the population here, because I'm from Utah. And if you guys know anything about the LDS Church, the Mormon Church, I might catch some shit for this one. But let's Google that shit anyway. Okay. So I Googled this before I started the stream. The Mormon Church does actually have about $293 billion, and that's just not like cash in the bank. That's assets, property, all of the stuff that you'd think a not-for-profit organization would have. So this top part's factually correct. The Google search actually gave it down to like the hundred thousands of a dollar, but 293 billion is close enough. So let's ask Google why the Mormon Church requires people to pay tithing before helping. Where the hell did my shit go? Why does the Mormon Church require people to pay tithing before helping them with groceries or other basic needs? I think this could get interesting. Hopefully I don't catch too much shit if we have anybody from Utah watching. But most of the LDS population should be doing Sunday things and not watching YouTube anyway, so. Why does the LDS Church... This one might not even make good fodder. I'm not religious, guys, so hopefully I don't sound too stupid here. With groceries or other basic needs. Is this even going to be good fodder here? Okay. This has got 4 sources, one of them being churchofjesuschrist.org, which is, I think, should be thrown out. A lot of the sources are churchofjesuschrist.org, and then we got one from Quora. So take this or leave it. This says the LDS Church teaches that tithing is a mandatory spiritual commandment and a test of faith, not a charitable donation. Then how come you have $293 billion? Ensuring that God's work is funded, including welfare efforts. Then why do you have $293 billion? I'm just saying. Leaders often view it as a prerequisite for receiving blessings and demonstrating commitment before receiving assistance from the bishop's storehouse. So basically what you do is you launder your money through the church, and then they may give some of it back to you. Tithing is seen as the standing law and a sign of obedience. Sure. This sort of answers our question. Test of obedience. And then we've got some little note down here that says, while tithing's required, the church's own welfare guidelines emphasize that members should not sacrifice they or their children's basic needs for food or housing to pay tithing, according to historical and doctrinal sources. So you guys, I don't know how true any of this is. I am a native Utahn. My wife and I were a part of the church for a year and a half or two, but yeah, we're not going to get into that. But this does say that the church says you should not sacrifice you or your family's needs to pay tithing. So I guess this is not technically true. So we Googled that shit, and this is not technically true. What this woman's saying is not technically true. The church does not, in fact, require you to pay your tithing before helping you out with groceries or other basic needs. So there you go. That one, I think, may have been one of the first ones that's been debunked here. PVC says under par, you build a golf course. Okay, I could get into that, dude. And for golf's sake, says he's basically blind in his right eye, so VR's not worth it. You are 100% correct, sir. What the hell do we have here, guys? Did I accidentally touch the mouse? Hole 13 is a 350-yard par 4 here at Jefferson Golf and Country Club it's in Ohio. And we only need to hit about 215 yards to get to the dog leg. If we want to be brave, we can hit a little further than that. So let's hit a 5 wood here and try to cut this dog leg, and hopefully we don't lose a golf ball. Golf ball dispenser, give us a ball. Nice, thank you. You're a gentle person and a scholar, golf ball dispenser. So the LDS Church apparently does not require you to pay your tithing if it is in lieu of actually getting stuff you need for you or your family. Okay, that's a draw. And hopefully we stay somewhere near the fairway. We might be on the fringe. So good distance, that's the distance we wanted, but we didn't cut the dog leg enough, so it didn't end up mattering. 119 is going to be our 9-iron. Apparently I've got a big gap between my 9-iron and my 8-iron, so I may need to bend these clubs. But here we go. That was fat. Hopefully we're up there somewhere near the green. All right, we're putting, but it's going to be quite a son of a bitch of a putt, like 34 feet. PVC, what platform is this under par game on? Is it on Steam? Or is it like an Android phone game? What kind of game is it? Not what kind of game is it, what platform is it on? You guys, we got a nasty leaker here, slightly downhill, 35 feet. This is going to be nasty. 35 feet. We underestimated the break by several feet. Thinking we're going to putt at least a couple more times, but I might be able to sink this little 5-footer playing 6 feet. We'll leave it in the cup. 5-footer playing 6 feet. All right, we got her. Okay, PVC and Xbox. PVC says it's on PC and Xbox. There you go, a little tongue twister for you. 14th hole is a 535-yard par 5. It would be really nice. We're probably not going to go for it in 2 anyway because we're too close to the water. So what we've got to do is just kind of put this into 3 little edible chunks. We don't need to get stupid with the tee shot. We don't really need to get stupid with this at all. I think if we can keep a driver online, let's hit 3 wood here. The golf ball dispenser is awesome. Google that shit. I need you to fade. Please fade. That should be fine. So now we're 300 yards into the pin. That's obviously an unachievable distance for a mere mortal. So let's get this into two little bite-sized chunks here. If I want to be about 100 yards out, I need to hit about a 180 club. So let's see if we can get down into maybe this clearing. Let's hit a 5-iron. That was a pretty heavy 5-iron. Luckily, we're going downhill and we'll get a little bit of extra distance out of it. But again, we have left ourselves with not a pitching wedge into the green. It's okay. We've been golfing all weekend, starting to get a little bit tired. Oh, get up there. Get up there. Oh, boys, this is a tough putt. Let's just try to get the ball close. You see, if we go too far up the hill, we're going to start to go back down the hill, which makes this a pretty dangerous shot. Let's try to hit a little like 10-foot putt here and just park it right up next to the pin for an easy tap in. Okay, there we go. There we go. I did go under the hole though, like a rookie. I'd like to point that out. PVC says he Googled GSPro. I mean, it is kind of a game. I consider it a game. Let's hit an 8-iron over here into the fat part of the green, and hopefully we're able to make some dreams come true. So for golf's sake, do they have a BMW 135i in iRacing now, or are you talking about one of your actual real-life BMWs? Because I can't remember how many different cars there were in iRacing, but it really depended on what class you were racing in. Okay, that is not drawing. But it actually went over to the skinny part of the green, so not too bad. Now we got to hit up a hill. My irons are way off today. They're about 10 yards off, and I'm about 10 miles an hour of ball speed off the norm. What do we got here? A long putt, that's what we got. Wow. I'm taking that all day long, dude. Oh, that is excellent. For golf's sake says real is always better than the sim, and he is correct. Let's hit driver. We haven't lost a ball. I just remembered we haven't lost a ball yet. We haven't lost a ball yet. O ye of little faith. That's crazy, you guys. My ball speed's down 10 plus miles an hour, so I know it's probably time to call it a day here. That only went 240. And I wouldn't say that I am a small individual, right? But I just don't feel like swinging for the fences today. I just want to play some nice, easy golf. Okay, for golf's sake says the i35i is an Assetto Corsa, which is another simulator type racing game, even though some of those iRacing guys won't admit it. I had a lot of fun in Assetto Corsa. It takes more graphical horsepower though, especially if you try to play it in VR. Guys, this is gonna play 30 something feet. We just need to get it up near the pin. Oh! All right, let's do the last segment of Google that shit here for the day. Let's see what our next fodder is. Okay, here's one. This one's easy to ask Google about. Do I love what it says? No, I don't, but this one's easy. So this highly attractive young lady here, like I am fucking, my panties are wet, says, I genuinely don't think anything will get better until we can all collectively acknowledge that there is one common denominator in all atrocities, and that is, of course, men, right? It's me, it's PVC, it's Tim, it's men. So what we're going to do is Google that shit and see what we find out. Can you guys see that? Let's Google this shit, guys. Once and for all, let's put this baby to rest. So what should we ask Google? Are men involved in all atrocities? Is that too? Are all atrocities committed by men? There we go. Let's do that one. How do you spell atrocities? Yeah, I can't spell. Google says, so we've got some sources here. We've got the conversation. It looks like the Quora thing, but I don't think it is. And then a place called Medium. The conversation, and then of course, good old YouTube. Fact check that shit on YouTube. So the question was, are all atrocities committed by men? I don't know how Google could possibly know this, but it says no, not all atrocities are committed by men, but statistics show that men commit the vast majority of violent crimes, homicides, and war atrocities worldwide. Wow, that's some pretty heavy shit. While men account for roughly 90% of murders, women are also capable of committing terrible acts, including war crimes, genocide, and domestic abuse. Massive male disproportion. Globally, males represent 90% of homicide offenders. Copy. This is, you guys, these aren't new numbers. Atrocities by women. Historical examples include women participating in Nazi war crimes, ethnic cleansing in the former Yugoslavia, and the abuse at Abu Ghraib. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. While rare, females account for about 6% of mass killing events, according to a study analyzing data from 1900 through 2019. That's 120 years of data, so that's a lot of data. And then contextual data. In the U.S., males account for approximately 79% of arrests for violent crimes, while in other contexts they are also primary victims of violence, particularly from other men. Men are the primary victim of violence. Wait, what? What? Men are the primary victims of violence, particularly from other men? I gotta Google that shit. That can't be right. Men are the primary victims of violence? That can't be right, dude. Okay, so she's partially correct, but so Google didn't even answer that for me. What gender is the primary victims of violence? I realize, God damn it. What? So get a load of this shit. Men are the primary victims of overall physical violence and homicide globally. Right? We've got to take our sources into account here. Men are the primary victims of overall physical violence and homicide globally. Globally means the whole world. While gender-based violence such as intimate partner violence heavily impacts women, right? Not a new factoid. Statistics indicate that men are more frequently victims of general violence, often perpetrated by other men, particularly in public spaces. Men are more likely to become victims of general physical violence? Man, this is not what TikTok would like you to think. Men make up the majority of homicide victims worldwide. So the primary perpetrator and victims are both men. Obviously, women are at a higher risk of rape and sexual assault. Hopefully I didn't just get canceled for not saying grape. Holy shit. I learned something today. Huh. So Susie Q here says that women are the common denominator in all atrocities. Incorrect. It says they're about 90%. Men are 90% of the perpetrators. So they're not the common denominator in all atrocities. So go fuck yourself. And I also found out that men are the primary victims of male violence. I honestly didn't know that. I honest to God did not know that. All right. You guys, we got 2 holes left. This live stream's been horrendously long. One of the longest ever. We're well above 3 hours. Anyway, guys, we got another par 3 where the pin is near the water. Go figure. So let's hit a 6 iron to about right there, and then we'll finish 18, and then we'll conclude the stream. My golf game's starting to suffer. I'm late for lunch. It's 2 p.m. my time, but let's hope we don't fade this over into the water. It's gonna be damn close, guys. It's gonna be damn close. Okay, we got that little members bounce into the drink. As much as I tried to not come over the top, we were still toey, so it didn't matter. A toey iron shot's generally gonna send you in a particular direction, namely the right direction, which is the wrong direction. All right, let's get up here on the green. Valiant effort, especially chipping out of that lie from behind a bunker. We'll take it. And then what are PVC and for golf's sake saying in here? PVC says he's got a bass boat that'll go 70 miles an hour. I think you were telling me about that a while ago. Yeah, going 70 in a boat would be fucking terrifying. And for golf's sake says 70 miles an hour in a boat is damn fast. I agree. What am I doing here? Putting poorly? All right, guys, we already put a ball in the drink, so we're 4 strokes in on a par 3. Let's just try to nestle this up to the hole. It's 13 feet playing slightly downhill from the looks of it. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. All right, so we're taking a 5 on a 3 here, which is, I would say, happens to me sometimes outside. Double bogey. We hate seeing those, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's hit driver. 18th and final hole is a 570-yard par 5, and you can see that the green is nestled up here behind this water. So we'll want to play 2 pretty smart shots and then try to get something near the pin for a birdie or a par, but I can't guarantee that that will happen. And based on recent history, it's not going to happen because we just keep on hitting into the water. All right, we were pretty fortunate to not hit a collider in the top of that tree. Maybe the collider wasn't there. Maybe we barely missed it. I do not know the answers to these burning questions. That's way too far for your boy to hit. Let's hit a 160 shot there. For golf's sake says good night. He's been up for like 22 hours at this point. Have a nice sleep, sir. Okay, that was a pretty benign little 155-yard shot. I am starting to lose club speed. It's fine. We've been golfing all weekend. We've been golfing all weekend. 134 yards to the pin. We are dreadfully close to the water. Let's see how this goes. Oh, no. Stay up. Oh, shit, it stayed up. As it lies out of rocks. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Well, because GSPro is a simulation, quote unquote, and it doesn't matter, we're fine. I was watching an old school golf video. I can't remember who was playing. It was like Phil Mickelson and like Gary Player or something. And they were at some golf course where there was rocks and shit like this. And one of them actually broke the head off their club and they couldn't use the club for the rest of the round. Or they got a new one at the turn or something. But Phil busted the shit out of his club. Anyway, let's get out of here, you guys. I don't know what the colliders are going to do off these rocks. It's really a mystery. Oh, that was so lucky. That was so lucky. That was so lucky. Whew. All right, we might actually get out of here with a par. This looks pretty benign. I'm just going to hit it about 5 feet and finish the round out. All righty. Okay, guys, there you go. 6 over par. No gimme circles. We didn't lose any golf balls. We got a couple of birdies. Took a double on 6 and a double on 17, which sucks balls, but let's look at stats. Stats aren't too bad. 31 putts is a little much for me. I'd like to keep it to under 30, preferably high 20s is what it is. Looks like we hit 100% of fairways in regulation. I've never seen that before, so that's pretty sweet. And then 8 of 18, 44% greens in regulation, which is pretty crazy. 2 sand saves, no mullies, and then a really long round. And we only had 52 feet of putting. We only had 52 feet of putting. Not a bad round except for these 2 doubles, but shit happens. Your ball's going to go in the water sometimes. All right, guys, thanks for watching this hellaciously long live stream. This has been a Turbo Talon Golf production. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend and you're ready for your work week tomorrow. But I don't have anything else for you. Thanks for tuning in, and I may or may not see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm golfing outside or I'm going to be golfing in here. All right? You guys have a good one. Be safe. We'll see you later.